For the longest time, I genuinely believed I was doing fine spiritually. I grew up Catholic, went to a Catholic school, prayed the prayers, stood and sat at the right moments, memorized the responses, followed the system. People around me always said things like, "You're a good kid. You fear God. You're religious." And it got into my head. I started to think that being born into a Catholic or any religious environment automatically made me worthy of God. I thought that was enough. But what I never realized was that behind all of that, I was living a life far from Him. I sinned a lot, and I never felt bothered by it. I laughed at dark jokes. I enjoyed inappropriate humor. I swore like it was nothing. I lied without hesitation, even about small things. I had lustful thoughts constantly. I spoke without kindness, acted without thinking, and lived however I wanted. And the scary part, it all felt normal. Like it was part of being young, like it was harmless. Like everyone did it, so it was fine. I thought as long as I prayed sometimes, went to church on Sundays, and brought my rosary or a cross, I was still good. I convinced myself that God understood. God would excuse it. God wouldn't mind because at least I believe in Him. I had this mindset that faith plus habit equals righteousness. But deep down, I was blind. I wasn't growing. I was drifting. I wasn't walking with God. I was walking with myself. And then something happened. One random day just this year, it was recent, I was scrolling through Instagram like always. So my feed was the same as usual: dark humor, inappropriate content, sinful jokes, meaningless entertainment. I didn't even notice how polluted it was because I'd gotten so used to it. It was my normal, it reflected who I was. But then, out of nowhere, one Christian video appeared. Just one. At first, I ignored it. I thought, oh, it's just an algorithm glitch. Just a coincidence. Nothing special. But I still watched it, and something about it hit me. Not loudly, more like a quiet sting. A feeling I couldn't ignore. And the next time I opened Instagram, my entire feed changed. Slowly at first, then more and more. Christian videos, worship clips, verses, people sharing testimonies, people talking about sins I was committing every day, people describing the exact mindset I had, thinking I was good enough because of religion, not relationship. It wasn't random anymore. It was too specific, too personal, too direct. It felt like God wasn't whispering. He was calling out to me. Every reel I saw felt like it was talking to me about pride, about lust, about lying, about being spiritually dead but thinking you're alive, about being religious yet far from God. And that's when everything started sinking in. I wasn't okay. I wasn't close to God. I wasn't righteous because of habit. And when that truth hit me, it felt heavy. It felt painful. It felt like God was pulling the blindfold off my eyes and showing me who I really was. That moment, seeing those videos, feeling something shift, recognizing how lost I actually was, that was the beginning of my awakening. The beginning of God shaking me awake from the spiritual sleep I didn't even know I was in. And maybe you're listening to this right now and you feel the same way. Maybe you grew up around faith, around church, around religion. And because of that, you assumed you were close to God. You assumed you were good, safe, or okay, because people always told you that you were. Maybe you thought that believing in Him was enough, that praying sometimes was enough, that simply identifying as Christian was enough. Maybe you're just like how I was, numb to sin, because it became normal. Laughing at things that damage your spirit. Scrolling for hours without realizing what you're feeding your soul. Doing things you know aren't right, but brushing it off as just life. Telling yourself that God understands, that there's no need to change yet. Telling yourself that you'll fix your life tomorrow or next week or when I feel ready. But let me tell you something. Sometimes God will interrupt your life quietly, slowly, softly, through a video, a verse, a conversation, a moment, until you finally notice His voice calling you back. Sometimes He won't shake your world loudly. He'll just place something in front of you again and again until you can no longer pretend you don't see it. And maybe this is that moment for you. Maybe the reason you're hearing this right now at this exact point in your life is because God is trying to reach you, just like He reached me. Maybe He's been calling you for months. Maybe He's been whispering reminders. Maybe He's been placing signs in your daily routine, but you've been too distracted, too hurt, or too busy to notice. Or maybe you did notice, but you pushed it away because change is uncomfortable, because self-reflection is painful, because facing the truth about yourself is not easy. But listen, God doesn't reveal your brokenness to shame you. He reveals it so He can heal you. He doesn't bring conviction to push you away. He brings conviction to pull you closer. You're not beyond saving. You're not beyond forgiveness. You're not too far gone. You're not too late. Maybe your habits haven't changed yet. Maybe your heart still feels heavy, dirty, or confused. But God meets you where you are, even in the places you think He wouldn't step into, even in the mess you thought you had to clean up first. You don't come to God once you're fixed. You come to God so He can fix you. What happened to me wasn't coincidence. It was God reaching out. And maybe, right now, He's reaching out to you too.